This is Rockslapping Champions. Player 1, playing Tychus. We have Diamond. And player 2, playing Zeratul. We have Syntharius. For a moment I forgot what that commander was called. As you can see, let's have a look at the masteries. 30 points into Tychus attack speed mastery, 30 points into Try Outlaw cooldown, and 30 points into Mevac cooldown mastery. So all good choices here. And for Zeratul we have 28 points and 27 and 27. Again, not a full mastery level Zeratul, so that is why they do not have all their mastery points allocated. You can see that Tychus has already started to pre-build his command center. A good choice because Tychus's build allows him to do so. And we can see now what his next plan is. Usually there should be a refinery coming up, and when you do 3 workers on a single refinery, you should be able to have enough gas out for your first outlaw, so you can get 2 outlaws out at the same time. And this is the small nitpick I wanted to bring up here, is that he's going for the 2 gases. You only need 1 with the 3 workers, and that should be fine. The second gas is not really necessary, unless you're doing something very, very special. Now you will notice that there are a bunch of mutators active on this mission, and we have the 2 mutators are Lava Burst and Walking Infested. So for those of you that do not play mutation games very much, this is this week's weekly mutation called Chain Explosion. So Lava Bursts basically make these little lava bursts spawn around the map, and these things deal damage obviously to your units. And Walking Infested will basically make infested Terrans spawn from enemy units that you kill, depending on their supply cost. So, for example, a Zealot may spawn 1 or 2 infested Terrans, but if you are killing a hybrid, then I think about 8 will spawn. So that is what that mutator does. You can see that Zeratul has already put a chrono boost onto Tychus's command center. This will improve Tychus's economy while Zeratul starts to clear this expansion. And this expansion is reasonably simple to clear. There are a number of fast clears on Starcraft2coop.com, your #1 source of Starcraft 2 co-op information. I'm going to pitch that every now and then. And yeah. Initially, actually today, I had a plan for a compilation video, but this was a last-minute submission. And weekly mutation Rockslapping Champions submissions get priority over others. There is a queue. I know there are a few people who have submitted a bunch of replays that have not been featured before on the channel, so there are some first-time submitters. Your replays are still in queue and they are there, so do not be demoralized because those things are actually in queue. While the weekly mutation replays do get priority because it's fresh in people's minds. People, have the experience. So yes, there are a few replays that are still in queue. So do not worry, your replay may be featured in the coming weeks. I'm going to try my best to do that, as long as I do not get other weekly mutation submissions for Rockslapping Champions, because these ones I think are a little bit more interesting as well. You can see Tychus' command center is floating a little bit dangerously close outside this area, and we have Nikara out now. Now generally, if this was 1 year ago, at the time of this recording, going for Nikara first was a rock-slapping play, because Nikara was not very good as a general, as just a healer, because she never really dealt extra damage. But ever since the new changes are coming out, you can see this thing is getting clipped over here, and Tychus is not paying attention, and that command center ends up burning down. That is 400 minerals completely gone. But yeah, about Nikara. Nikara used to be a very rock-slapping play if you were not dealing with a particular mutation, but ever since the buffs, going Nikara first is a viable option. And you can see that the enemy composition that we're dealing with is the disruptive artillery. So one play that is possible is you go for Vega, potentially first. Otherwise you can go for Nikara first, it doesn't really matter. You go for Vega or Nikara first, and then you get the other one out. And you basically steal Amon's units, and you play with Amon's units instead of your outlaws, basically. So that is one kind of play here, and Nikara for that is very, very useful, because Nikara heals fixed amounts of HP rather than percentage-based heals that Rattlesnake does. And because Amon's units do not get the upgrades and the health upgrades, Nikara ends up being a better choice for a healer. Now, in the later stages of the game where you are getting your armor upgrades, if you're going for Vega, you would not normally get your armor upgrade, but if you are not going for Vega and you're playing a straight up build where you want to murder everything on the map, then you go for armor upgrades, and Nikara ends up getting less and less effective as a healer, and that is when you'll want Rattlesnake out, because Rattlesnake does percentage based heals. That's generally the choice here. Amon's champion is going to end up pushing Nikara right into the lava burst, and Nikara gets completely wrecked. That kill was purely... Why is Amon's champion not getting credit for that kill? He was 100% responsible for that kill. And now Tychus is going to be moving in here, and there's a lava burst underneath here. And you might be wondering what is going on, and Tychus ends up getting murdered as well by the lava burst. And the thing is, the lava burst actually tries to focus your units down. It will spawn where your units are, and it will try and catch you out in where your unit is pathing. You can see over here that the lava bursts were spawning right on top of where Nikara would have been if she were pathing. Again, Nikara getting a little bit dangerously close here. And this is not by chance, this is 100% intentional by design. The lava bursts are not random, they are pseudo-random, which is they are semi-random. You can see Nikara taking a lot of damage. She does end up managing to run away here, while Zeratul is going to end up focusing this down. So far, we have one Tychus and one Nikara lost. You gotta be very, very careful with these lava bursts because these things will try and focus you down. A lot of people do not believe it, but it's actually true. And we can see the Nikara being Zeratul's dedicated healer over here. He's trying to take out this hybrid right now. He's swiping away at the hybrid, and he might actually be able to do that, but he's not going to use his Blade Fury upgrade or whatever it's called. And now this hybrid is still alive here. Nikara still keeping Zeratul alive, being a very, very good healer right now for Zeratul, the dedicated healer. And now this hybrid is going to end up dying with a bunch of infested Terrans. As Tychus has still been chilling in this base for the last 60 seconds of the fight. And now we have the big scary attack wave. But the thing is, Tychus has not remembered that there are going to be a bunch of infested Terrans that is coming up from the hybrid that was killed off. I think Tychus is just engaged in dealing with... Okay, there we go. So there is the bunch of infested Terrans that have been spawned. I do not know what is going on. Tychus, again, Nikara getting caught out, and now Tychus as well getting caught out here. And now these infested Terrans are just going to start killing away at Tychus's SCVs. And now there is a push as well. A bunch of Adept series does not know where to go. Tychus in peril right now. He does not really want to end up losing his command center, which might actually happen right now. He's still making SCVs, and those SCVs are just getting caught as cannon fodder. He finally uses the Odin to respawn, and he ends up killing off that one infested Terran that was harassing him by stepping on it. And this large attack wave has been handled by Zeratul reasonably well. You can see here that this thing is probably going to end up going down as well if it moves just a little bit forward. But the brunt of the attack wave has been handled, so it should not be too much of a problem to clear up the rest of these units. There are just a bunch of sentries here, one adept that's going to get getting healed by these sentries. And now, so far, we have 2 Tychuses and 2 Nikaras and 8 SCVs, and of course the 1 command center at the start of the game. And so Odin just sitting here, waiting to be timed out. And Zeratul will need to push this forward. And you can see Tychus has respawned as a result. Amon's champion still sitting at 0 kills, a little bit salty about that. He should have gotten a 1 kill for Nikara. Tychus, again, a bit serious, just waiting over here. And Nikara now joins into the fray, and she is again getting a little bit close to those lava birds. And Zeratul is just going to be cleaning up the enemy camp in this area. So there are a bunch of enemy units, a small pushing force here, which will end up getting handled by Tychus without any problems. And Zeratul now has completely cleared out this enemy base. There's a ping here from, I believe, Tychus, and Zeratul will be moving into position to try and get something into this area so that Janara does not get looped into the pit. Again, this Amon's champion. Oh no, the lava burst ran out. I was gonna say, like, is Amon's champion gonna get another kill on Tychus by pushing the lava burst? This one is getting a little bit dangerously close. The other thing to also point out about lava burst is that lava burst actually deals more damage to heroic units. So a regular unit like a probe will take a reasonable amount of damage, but if the unit is a heroic unit, the unit will just completely melt like this. You can see the car goes down and Sirius just goes down instantly, and these units have a small footprint. If you're playing with the Alexander, if you're playing with the Hyperion, those units have a very large footprint. Those things just completely melt to lava bursts because it's so difficult to avoid them. That is something else to take into consideration. See how the lava burst is trying to catch Tychus out here. So in this case, Tychus is just a little bit out of range, but this is how the AI works when it comes to selecting the positions for lava bursts. So we have another small bunch of adepts And these adapts again should not be too much of a problem. But Tychus is choosing to retreat back to Sirius. Okay, he wants to go back to his buddy and get some backup from his friend here, his wingman. And I think this area should be, this small attack wave will be handled. But unfortunately, there is another attack wave on this side with a bunch of immortals and a bunch of scouts. And I don't think Sirius is going to be well equipped to deal with this. Nikara jumps somewhere in the middle for some reason. He starts to check out some of those immortals. And Nikara gets completely wiped again. Nikara not having a good day. And now Tychus and Sirius have to medevac themselves up and retreat. I think they should be okay now, given that the amount of heals from the medevac platform should keep them alive. There's a small turret here to draw some of the aggro away from Tychus and Sirius, and that allows them to heal just a little bit more, and they'll be able to handle the adepts as well as the infestors that have spawned from the attack wave. And you can see here again, these stalkers are probably not gonna get caught out because Synthar is actually paying attention. And now we have Sirius and Tychus as well. So far, 2 Tychuses, 4 Nikaras have gone down, and 1 Sirius. Nikara is really not having a good day, and she will probably gonna need to see a medic after this, because now we have Nux into the mix here. So Nux provides some good splash damage, but generally, you know, if you are going for an Outlaw-centric build, so if you're going for the Nikara-centric build, you probably want to go for Vega and just start stealing him on Zenith. So Tychus navigating very closely around here, then decides to just let Sirius walk through because Nikara has an extra heal, but that utilizes Nikara's heal and her temporary attack buff, which is going to be a small problem if Zeratul was not in this position, because Zeratul has completely mopped up the enemy hybrids without any problems and without any kind of resistance. So Zeratul has also utilized their avatar of Essence, and the Nux gets caught out again a little bit by the lava burst, and now Tychus jumps into the middle. But there are observers here, which means that some of the damage, some of the heals on Tychus has been reduced. But again, Nikara, good healer, able to heal up Tychus, and all is good. These outlaws are really tempting fate here. We've been sitting so close to the lava burst. We also have some of these upgrades now as well. So some of the most important upgrades for Tychus is that big red button. He has access to that nuke, which will give him the ability to completely clear out one of these hybrid super pressure spawns. It basically just leaves the hybrid out, and that just makes it so much easier because you don't have Reavers and Immortals and Disruptors and all the other junk just trying to murder your face. So that is good. Overall, Zeratul has completely cleared out the rest of this mission, so it's just basically a straight up play. But now, the bonus objective, the appeal of the shiny 2000 experience as compared to the, I don't know, 100,000 bonus, the bounty for the weekly mutation. That appeal has come up for Tychus, and now he wants to try and go and deal with this bonus objective. And you'll have to be a little bit careful because this bonus objective is in a location where attack waves cross. So the attack wave comes down this ramp, and if you're not paying attention, you can get caught out. And especially if you get caught out by the slain elemental in the cocoon, you're basically dead. So you can see this is somewhat what I was talking about. Tychus ending up getting caught by the slain elementals. Solarite cocoon, I think the ability is called. And again, his outlaw is getting focused down. Nikara again getting caught out here. It should not be too much of a problem because this slain elemental is almost dead. Again, Sirius, I have to be again a little bit careful. And you can see while I was talking about the attack wave spawning here, now we have disruptors and reavers, and this is going to be a huge problem. Lots of disruptor shots right into the middle of the outlaw area, and that is the end of Sirius's career as an outlaw. And Tychus will have to be very carefully, have to navigate some of these because these disruptors are nasty. Zeratul jumps into the middle to try and help Tychus, uses a swipe, takes out these disruptors, and now all that is left are the bunch of reavers, and these reavers will probably end up going down very quickly before they will end up being able to deal any damage more to Tychus's outlaws. So that is the 3 outlaws out of the 4 surviving, so we have 1 more Sirius down now. And now, Tychus is taking a little breath to get some upgrades for Nux. He's giving him some cool toys to play with, and he almost walked into the lava burst again. And he wants to try and push Janara forward because they do not really want to extend this game more than necessary, because as soon as the double attack wave starts spawning, the mission becomes much more difficult to handle. They are waiting now for the next 2 healers, and now we have, actually not the next 2 healers, we have Rattlesnake as the healer, and Sirius, so we have double healing potential right now for Tychus. He has gone for the Rattlesnake as the last outlaw, I believe, in his composition. Again, usually you only want 1 healer, and Rattlesnake was probably the correct choice to start off, and Nikara getting pushed again by Amon's champion, and That is 2 kills for Amon's champion that the game is not registered. Come on, just hashtag justice for Amon's champion. Immortal is just shelling away at Sirius, and Sirius gets completely wiped. As a result, 2 more Outlaws have gone down. This time 5 Nikaras and 3 Siriuses. And now we have the next hybrid super pusher spawn. It has been created, but Zeratul is already in position, and Zeratul is pretty much going to wipe out everything that is here. We have the Odin as well getting dropped. 1 nuke goes down. Very nice nuke actually here, but I think was maybe a little bit later than needed because Zeratul had pretty much cleared out everything else with his Void Templars. Void Templars are absolutely nuts when it comes to the damage output that they have if you actually are spawn camping the enemy waves. You can see we have a storm here onto this small harass wave, and that has been cleared out as well. And I think Nikara, yeah, Nikara is just, she's mad right now. Oh no, Nikara's gonna get airlift here. I thought Nikara was mad and didn't want to join the fray anymore. She's gone down 5 times so far, and now you can see the Odin taking a little bit too much damage from the lava burst, but that should be okay. The Odin will despawn anyway, and Zeratul is just jumping into the middle now, uses a Void Suppression Crystal to just slow down everything, reduce their attack speed, and he's just going to end up completely wiping everything else that is there. We have a heal from Nikara as well, keeping everything else alive, and all 5 Outlaws have pushed into this base without any losses. And now all that is left is for Janara to push Amon's champion into the pit and spawn the last set of hybrid super pushers. And given that there is a probe here, this should not be too tall of an order to ask, because all is quiet now on the western front. Zeratul already getting ready with his Void Templars. He's ready to blink in, and as I was saying, these Void Templars are absolutely insane. If you spawn camp an attack wave, and the attack wave as it is spawning, especially if it's a Protoss ground composition like what you're dealing with here, you can wipe out the entire attack wave before it finishes spawning with the Void Templars. I normally, if anyone's played with me, I normally just go for the Stalkers anyway because I enjoy the Stalker blinks, but the blinks from these Void Templars are insane, and they're definitely the optimal play here. We have the hybrid spawn here, and just see what the Reavers spawned, and they just instantly got deleted by Zeratul. And now Tychus is going to be pushing up into this side, but as I was saying, there are a lot of Reavers and Disruptors, and Nikara's heal combined with Rattlesnake's heal is not enough, and Sirius and Nux go down, and Tychus trying to retreat, but unfortunately gets caught out by the Reaper as well, and that Reaver has gotten a few more kills onto Tychus, and now there is another Reaver that is still mad and trying to take Nikara or Rattlesnake. It doesn't seem to be sure what it wants to do right now. And 1 Reaver as well. Rattlesnake just tanking the damage like a boss, and Tychus getting wiped again. So far we have 4 Sirius kills, 3 Tychus kills, 1 Nux, and 5 Nikaras. Is Nikara going to die a 6th time? I don't think so. We have Sirius moving in right now. You'll have to be careful. He is pathing dangerously close through some of these lava bursts here. He does not seem to be paying attention. He might actually end up getting caught out. If there's a harass wave that spawns right now, he might end up getting caught out by that harass wave instead. So there is 1 random scout here as well. Unfortunately, none of these guys can shoot at the air unit that seems to be harassing them. And now we have Tychus as well moving in. He does end up getting clipped a little bit by the lava burst. And now we have Nux as well. Is this going to be the end of the mission before any more fatalities due to lava bursts? I do not know. I'm still mad at Amon's champion that hasn't gotten kill credits. Amon should be given those 2 kill credits because he's killed Nikara twice. But yes, that seems to be it. There's another heal from Nikara just to make sure they don't end up dying unnecessarily. But that is Amon's champion pushed into the pit. And that is GG.